What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cal Live here, bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and today we are going to be playing some Neo-Spacians. Now, Neo-Spacians got some support, which is really fun on the last selection pack. I already had a pre-built hero deck, so if you want to go ahead and check out those hero videos, you can, as I have played a Destiny hero build and I played a regular hero build. But without further ado, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, and let's get on into the deck build and what we were thinking when we came to this build. But anyways, as you guys can see, with the Neo-Spacians, we are forced to play vanillas, which is going to be elemental hero Neos. This card is absolutely busted in this deck, like just crazy. It just allows you to do so many things. Basically what this is going to do is allow us to actually use a card called Favorite Contact. Favorite Contact will allow us to summon out a Shining Neos Wingman, or we can use it to summon out Grand Mole or Brave Neos. Basically any of these cards, and it's just really crazy because Favorite Contact allows you to summon out basically almost any card in here, right? As long as you have everything in your graveyard or on the field. That's how crazy it is. I think it also can use your, you could also use your hand, graveyard, or your banished cards, or even field. That's how crazy this trap card is. But basically the combo that you're looking to do, there's two different routes you can go. Basically, you can go into a hand rip where you summon out Neo-Spacian Dolphin, discard one card, and then by discarding one card, you get to look at the hand. If you have a monster that is strong enough on the field, then a card in their hand, you can go ahead and destroy it and pop it. So usually you end up having like either elemental hero Neos on the field or engrave, and or a Prisma. Prisma allows you to go ahead and discard the Neos, making this card become Neos. So let's say they have an Ash in their hand, you can basically use this and this card right here to go ahead and pop that card. Now, if you're wondering how you're going into a Neo-Spacian Marine Dolphin, it was really easy with the power of Instant Contact. Instant Contact allows you to basically special summon one level 7 or lower hero monster, which is why we are playing the Marine Dolphin and also the Flame Wingman, which is the GOAT. So those two level 7 and lowers allow us to use the Instant Contact card. Those are going to be your two targets. But yeah, after you hand rip them once, you can then use and Contact Fusion into Neo-Spacian Marine Neos. And what this card can do is once per turn, you can destroy one random card you can put in his hand. So then not only did you get to look at your hand and get rid of one card, but then you get to go ahead and get rid of another card, and you already know what's in their hand, right? Because, and this is on turn 1, so they will be only at 3 cards and then 4 cards when they draw. So instead of the usual 6, you get rid of 2 cards, right? Another thing that this deck does really well is we have the power of Rainbow Neos. Neos is able to go ahead and shuffle either your opponent's deck, your opponent's graveyard back into the deck in extra deck, or you can go ahead and get rid of every card on their field, such as spells and traps if you get rid of spell and trap, or you can go ahead and get rid of every card on the field by tributing a monster, right? And get rid of all the monsters. So it's really cool. I do hope they retrain this card, because honestly this card should be elemental hero Rainbow Neos. I don't know why they just call it Rainbow Neos. Also, I believe that this should be a quick effect, man. It needs an errata or something, like a retrain errata. Just give us hero play or something, especially if we have to play like a Garnet, like Rainbow Dark Dragon or regular Rainbow Dragon. But anyways, guys, this deck is really fun. You can also play a Floodgate as you have mass change. Your mass change target can either be your Stratos or it could be your copy of Shadow Mist, because we are playing Hero Blast. Hero Blast will allow us to not only send a card, spell and trap back into an opponent's hand, but on top of that, you can also pay 500. When it's also summoned, you can make the attack of that one card lose half of its current attack, which is pretty cool, and that is a permanent effect, right? Like, that's just not per that turn, it's literally permanent. So let's say they summon out Mommy Labyrinth Lovely, you can go ahead and summon this card. This card would then summon to the field, it loses half its attack, so it's at 1500. No, it'll be at 1450 instead of the 2900. So really cool. And another thing, Neo's Fusion protects your card from going back into the extra deck if you're playing like the copy of like basically any of your Neo-Spacian monsters. Also protects your card from being destroyed, I believe, by card effects. Yeah, and by card effects and battle. So it has 3 different effects. Really cool. Just keep a note that once you use this, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. So my suggestion is basically go full combo first, then use Neo's Fusion. But anyways, guys, I don't want to keep rambling on, as this has already been 5 minutes of explaining. Hopefully you guys just enjoyed the video. Most of these replays will be viewer lobbies, and then it's going to be one crazy rank replay. So yeah, just enjoy, please. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe, please, and thank you. All right, so first off, we're gonna start out with Foolish Barrio, and I'm going to actually end up Foolish burying our Neo-Spacian Dark Panther. From there, I'm going to use the Elemental Hero Emergency Call. That way we can add a E-Hero to our hand. From there, we will activate Crosskeeper. Crosskeeper will allow me to summon out the Shadow Mist, allow me to grab a Mass Change. From there, we can then summon out Stratos, and then going into an End Shuffle. We will activate End Shuffle to go ahead and grab ourselves a Elemental Hero Spirit Neos, which is going to allow me to be able to grab either a Polymerization or one spell and trap that mentions Elemental Hero. So from there, we're going to actually end up grabbing Instant Contact. So I do summon out the power of Neos, and then we're going to Instant Contact into Neo-Spacian Marine Dolphin. By doing the Neo-Spacian Marine Dolphin, I'm actually going to then summon out our Shadow Mist. And the reason I'm doing this first is I want to be able to banish any card that I send from their hand to the graveyard off the Neo-Spacian Marine Dolphin. So now we will activate End Shuffle. End Shuffle will allow me to be able to draw one card. We actually end up getting a Poly. I'm going to use that to get rid of one card in their hand. And then from there, we are then going to go into Elemental Hero Marine Neos, use Crosskeeper's ability. That way we can draw 2, then put 1 at the bottom of the deck. We're going to then rip another card randomly from their hand, leaving him with only basically 3 cards. As you guys can see, he does top deck Super Poly though. Super Poly is going to allow him to take not only our Dark Law, but our Marine Neos and make a Dragon Stapelia. Dragon Stapelia will attack. So it really is unfortunate, but the good thing about this is I was able to see what was in their hand. So I knew that the Super Poly was actually a top deck. We do get a Neo Fusion. I'm going to use Prisma so I can try to bait out his Dragon Stapelia. He actually does end up taking the bait, which is really good for us because at this point, we know for a fact that they don't have anything that can actually stop our Neo's Fusion. So we now summon out Neo's Fusion. I'm going to go into Brave, as Brave is going to be strong enough. We're going to activate then Crosskeeper. Crosskeeper will allow me to draw 2. I'm going to put 1 back in the deck, like I said before. Then now going to activate Predaplant. And then from that Predaplant, they're going to go ahead and chain their Predaplant Brisk. I'm going to actually call by the buy list. And by call buying the buy list, its effect will not be able to activate. So at this point, I know the only thing they have is the power of Cross Out Designator, and we don't really play anything that Designator is going to affect us. I thought maybe he had a call buy, but he did not. So at this point, we're just gonna go attack. I do grab myself a Neo's Fusion off of the Elemental Hero Brave Neos, and he's going to then top deck into a Mercurier. At this point, Mercurier is not really going to be doing anything for him, so I do summon out the Stratos that we just draw. Stratos is going to pop a back row, and then from there we can just go for game. So as you can see, this deck is already super good, super fun. Let's get into the next match. All right, so round 2, and we are going to be going first once again. We're going to activate our Crosskeeper. Crosskeeper is then going to summon out our Stratos. From there, I'm going to grab a Prisma. I'm going to then activate Prisma's ability. That way we can toss an Elemental Hero Neos into the graveyard. They are then going to go ahead and effect veil us. That I'm not too worried about, as at this point I'm thinking we should still be fine. I'm then going to Instant Contact, summon out Flame Wingman. Now at this point I could hand rip if I wanted to, but I decided I want to get a draw 2 and then discard 1. put one back in the deck, which is what we do. And so I put the Grand Mole, and the reason we're putting Grand Mole back in the deck is because now we can go into Inferno. Extra Hero Inferno is going to allow me to reveal the the Neo-Spacian, what is it called? Neo-Spacian Grand Neos. That way I can add the Neo-SpacianGrand Mole and elemental heroes to my hand. From there, I'm gonna go ahead and put a favorite contact face down and also a call by. I could have activated Neo's Fusion, but I didn't want to go ahead and burn it this turn. So anyways, they are going to be starting out with Prosperity. They're going to grab a Maxi, and as you guys can see, they are going to be playing Spright. So this is going to actually be a really good matchup. So they are going to then activate Spright Jet. I'm going to activate Favorite Contact. Now at this point, I'm activating Favorite Contact because I really didn't think they had anything else that they could play. So by me being able to pop 2 different cards, I thought I would be fine at this point. So let's go. We're gonna go ahead and activate this. Summon out the Shining Neo's Wingman. And right here, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of 2 cards. So those 2 cards do get destroyed. They are going to activate DC of Diva. Diva's going to get a Diva, and then from there they're going to go into Gigantic. Now I am nervous because I did not know they had another Diva. I just thought they needed to toss one out, but they do get Jet, and then they're going to go into Carrot. Gigantic will activate its ability, summon out Eble. Eble is going to then get linked off to go into a Spright Elf. Spright Elf is going to allow Eble's ability to activate, and then now they're going to activate Spright Elf. Now at this point, I'm thinking I'm in a lot of trouble, but I'm not really worried about Eble because I could just go ahead and attack and get it off my field because he does have Spright Elf. If he didn't have Elf in attack mode, we would be fine. So from here, he's then going to go into Mask. Mask he's going to put underneath Elf, that way we can target it. And finally, it is going to be our turn, and we actually end up getting a Neo's Fusion. So at this point, he's then going to use Elf, summon out Jet. Jet will activate, allowing him to then add a card. He's going to chain Mastiana. And if you guys are wondering why when he goes into Unicorn, he doesn't bounce back our Elemental Hero Shining Wingman, it's going to be because our trap card, if you guys go ahead and take a look at Favorite Contact, basically what this card does is if you place elemental heroes into the deck, neither player can return a monster special summon by this effect to the extra deck, which means this card cannot be bounced back at all, right? So he is forced to go ahead and bounce that. We are going to attack, attacking this first, and then from there we're going to be able to do damage. Then finally I'm going to attack the Elf to just get this card off the field. I decided not to use Grand Mole because of the fact I want to activate Rainbow Neos. Rainbow Neos is then going to send every card back into the deck, and at this point he's just going to get called by. It's going to be GG's as he's not able to do anything, so they end up surrendering. So GG's. All right, so for this duel we are going to be going second, and this is actually going to be one of the ranked matches that I was discussing. As you guys can see, we're going against Punk Orcust, so this is going to be a little difficult as we do open up Neo-Spacian, Aqua, Dolphin, and Frostkeeper. They are going to get Chaos Ruler. From the Chaos Ruler, they're going to just go ahead and activate everything that they need. So Chaos Ruler would then be able to evacuate 5. He's going to get Crescendo into the grave. I'm actually happy that I saw Crescendo go grave because that counter trap is super annoying. And then from there, they're going to go into Zombie Vampire. The Zombie Vampire will activate a 5th effect, tossing out 4 cards each into the grave from both. Then they're going to go into Galea. Now, I was a little confused by this move, as you guys are about to see, because if I remember correctly, he ends up going into Dingirsu early, and I'm almost positive that this deck, usually you want to go into Dingirsu on your opponent's turn, not on your turn. So I could be wrong, but yeah. So as you guys can see, they're going to go ahead and get this onto the field, go into long gear suit. Long gear suit would then get linked off into Dingirsu. And if you guys don't know anything about this deck, this field spell, which should be a UR by the way, I don't know how this card passed off as a rare, but basically any Orcust card in the graveyard can be activated as quick effects, so that's super annoying. But anyways, we do top deck into an instant contact, which is huge for us. We're going to activate our E emergency call. They're going to activate this, and then from here they're going to use this effect to add that to the hand. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a Stratos. I'm going to use Crosskeeper then summons out the Stratos. Now if you're wondering why the effect of Stratos doesn't go off, it's because Crosskeeper, if a card is summoned from like the graveyard, then the effect will not go off. So from there, I was just trying to see if I can bait something. We are going to activate our called by, and we're going to get rid of Skeleton. From there, I'm going to activate Stratos. I'm going to go for this card right here. He's going to use his the gear suit to protect it. Finally, we're going to go into Extra Hero Denier. Denier will then reveal the Neo-SpacianGrand Mole. That way we can go ahead and get Grand Mole into our hand and deals. Then activate Instant Contact. Now I'm going to go into Sunrise. From there, Crosskeeper will activate this effect. Sunrise will also activate the effect. And we're going to do this way. I can make sure I get a Miracle Fusion first and then get the draw 2. We do get ourselves an Elemental Hero Spirit Neos. From there, I'm going to activate Miracle Fusion. From the Miracle Fusion, I will summon out Brave Neos. And then now we're going to activate Sunrise, trying to destroy his field spell again. It is once again protected. So there, I'm going to activate this, allow me to grab ourselves a Neos Fusion off the Brave Neos. We are going to attack this, and then finally we will attack his Dingirsu. From there, we're going to activate Neos Fusion, summoning out the Grand Mole, and from Grand Mole, we're going to bounce that back to the hand. The biggest mistake I made of this duel was the fact that I was trying to actually go Neos Fusion into the power of Rainbow Neos, but I always forget when you activate instant. Which card is it? There's a certain card where you activate where you're locked into only hero monsters. Can't really remember what card it is. But yeah, so that's what happened. Anyways, we're going to use Neos Fusion. That way we could keep our Grand Neos onto the field just for this turn, just to give us a little follow-up protection. They are then going to go ahead and summon out Orcust. From here, you guys are going to see this is going to get really super spicy. We're going to then use Call By. I'm going to get rid of his Dingirsu because I don't want to see this card again. So, and this card is not like limited, as you guys can see. So they end up summoning out Orcust Symbol Skeleton, and then they're gonna get off Chaotic, right? So from Chaos Ruler, they're then going to go into the power of Gizmek. Finally, go into the power of Topologic Zero. From here, they are going to activate its effect. And so, I mean, not activate its effect, but basically, for every card that's banished, they get like an increase. 200 attack for each banished card, so they have 17, and then we have 4. Finally, from there, they're going to go on into Warlord. And so, my thought process here is activate Sunrise just so we can get rid of at least one of its negates. And so that's what we do. They then decide to attack our Brave Neos. Brave Neos gets destroyed, taking 3,800 damage, so we're really in trouble. And then he decides to attack this for some odd reason. I'm not sure why he didn't attack Sunrise. That was a little odd in my opinion. But finally, we do got a favorite contact. I'm going to activate and engage, getting rid of Aqua Dolphin and Shadow Mist. This way, they're going to go and try to negate this, which they end up doing. But we do have Shadow Mist, so Shadow Mist effect will activate, which is really cool, allowing me to go ahead and still grab ourselves a Liquid Soldier. And the reason I went Liquid is that way I can go ahead and summon out Stratos. Now, my biggest mistake is I forgot that this, once you summon a card that points to Topologic Zerobos, right, he gets to banish every card. So this was like the biggest misplay I could have made, because I had a way of getting rid of this. So at this point, I decided, all right, let me just use Stratos. That way we can go ahead and add Spirit Neos into our hand. So now he banishes everything. From there, I'm just going to put Favorite Contact face down. And we're going to basically use Spirit Neos to protect ourselves. So he does summon out his card. He's going to have 8,400. He's going to go ahead and attack. We're going to activate Spirit Neos. Spirit Neos, if you guys didn't know, if it's special summoned this way, this card cannot be destroyed. Like, even if it switches out of defense position after this, right? So he's going to go ahead and try to kill it. He's going to activate Gizmek. From here, he's going to attack with his Gizmek. Now, what was weird is that he didn't use Gizmek's ability to destroy this card. I guess he thinks it just can't be destroyed at all, but that's going to be his downfall, as you guys can see. Now we're going to activate Favorite Contact. From the Favorite Contact, I'm going to put Neos from our Vanish Zone, summon out the Grand Mole. Grand Mole will activate his effect, bouncing back his card. From there, we're going to go into Neos Fusion, and then we're going to summon out Rainbow Neos. He's going to activate Max C. I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to summon out Prisma, use Rainbow Neos' ability, put every card from their graveyard into the deck, and we're going to go ahead and attack here. He's going to then use Gizmek right here, summon itself. We're just going to go ahead and attack the Gizmek, getting rid of that card entirely, and then finally attacking, almost going for game. I feel like what I probably should have done instead is probably just get rid of Gizmek, like send it back, but he just top stacks into a Dark Grappler, and that's just not going to be enough. So as you guys can see, that was a really cool duel. We were able to protect ourselves. We bounced back even from a mistake. So yeah, let's get into the last match. All right, so for this match, we are going to be going second, and we're actually playing against Dominic. So Dominic is going to be playing Swordsoul. He's going to reveal the golden Swordsoul, and then he's going to go ahead and go into Chaizao. So from the Chaizao play, he will go ahead and basically activate Chain 1 Chaizao, Chain 2 Moye. Moye is going to actually get him a Maxi, which is pretty crazy. From there, he will then activate this, summoning out the power of Longyun, creating Sinister. So from Sinister, I'm like, what do I do here? But then I realize we have literally the out. So we're going to go ahead and activate Polymerization. He's going to allow this to go through. I thought he would stop with his Solemn Judgment at the time, because remember, we don't see what he has when we're playing, but instead he decides to do this. I'm actually happy that he did, and the reason I went Absolute Zero is this way we can pop his whole board. He then said he misclicked on the Golden Swordsoul, so summoning out Valor, which I'm really happy that he did misclick. So then finally he activates the power of Solemn. From the Solemn, he is going to negate that, but we do have a Hero Lives, so we are going to be able to just activate that as well. So from there, we're going to summon out Stratos. We're going to use Stratos' ability. He's going to then Max C here. I wasn't really sure why he didn't chain the Max C originally to the Stratos summon. So we do end up grabbing ourselves on his Neos. From there, I'm going to then summon out Flame Wingman. And we're going to go ahead and attack. And I believe we end up attacking for game here. Yeah. So just GG's. But as you guys can see, even if he did activate that Maxi early, it wouldn't have changed anything because we already had game, and that's why I ended up grabbing the Honest. All right, so for our last and final duel, we are going to be playing against Nephesis Ubels. So our boy Ubel decided that he wanted to use his own deck. So from here, we're going to go with Hero Lives. We're going to use Prisma. Prisma is then going to toss out Neos. From there, we're then going to summon out Stratos. From the Stratos, I will get ourselves a Liquid Soldier. Then I'm going to activate End Shuffle. End Shuffle is going to allow me to summon out Spirit. Spirit will activate its effect, allow me to grab Instant Contact. And then from here, we can start the hand rip process. So, I guess actually from here, I decided not to go hand rip. I decide I'm going to go into the Visor, and I think the reason I decided to do this is because I had Favorite Contact in my hand already, and with Favorite Contact I could go into Shining Flared Neos, which is like one of my favorite cards right now. That card is just super cool. But yeah, so from here he's going to activate Fire King. And as someone that used to play this deck back in the day, once I seen this card, I was like, oh, I know what deck he's playing. So I decided I'm gonna actually summon out Shining Neo's Wingman, use its ability to go ahead and pop that field spell. From there it's going to get destroyed, and then from here he's going to just summon out his Sacred Nemesis. From there he's then going to go ahead and pop that. He's going to try and get rid of our Shining Flare Neos, but if you guys didn't know, this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. So yeah, like that, it just doesn't work. So, you know, just people not reading on Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, it happens, right? I also don't be reading. But anyways, we are going to use Engage, tossing 2 cards out. We're going to get Aqua Dolphin. From the Aqua Dolphin, we're going to go ahead and look at his hand. That way we can see what we can hand rip. So here we go. Use Aqua Dolphin, toss out Neos. We see that we can't actually hand rip anything. So we're just going to go ahead and use Poly right here. Go into a Sunrise. From the Sunrise play, I know that I have game because I remember I was able to check his hand with Aqua Dolphin. And at this point, we're just trying to see how beefy we can get our Shining Wingman. And so from there, we're going to get rid of the Grand Mole, use Emergency Call, grab ourselves a Stratos. From the Stratos, summon the Stratos out, grab ourselves the Honest Neos. And then from there, we're just going to go for the game. As you can see, we got up to 6k, not bad. But with the power of Honest Neos, we're able to do 8,800 damage with 1 attack. Super GG's. But as you guys can see, this deck is super fun, man. If you guys already have a whole hero card like deck build, I suggest try to go ahead and build this deck as well if you want to have fun, right? Consistently though, on the ladder right now with this account, I was able to climb back into platinum with me not playing on this account at all during last season. And so it did take me back to gold, but I went on like a 9-game win streak with this deck, finally losing to like a very crazy Spright. I think it was like Spright, so what was it, Spright Runix. So I couldn't really do anything because they were just popping, you know, like my special summons and stuff like that, while they already had full combo. So but yeah, this deck is super fun, man. I'm telling you guys should try it out if you can. But anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. But yeah, see ya.